Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever the case may be, wherever you're tuning in from. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. This is the Kall In Khan show. You're all very welcome. You're all very welcome to call in as well. The link is in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. Get your camera set up. Let's talk football. Anything you want. You can talk about Judgment Weekend. You can talk about your own clubs, whatever club there may be. You can talk about the Mbappe situation. But yeah, man, it's good to talk. It's good to talk. Get your calls in. I'm going to try to get as many as I can in. Big up all you mans that are already in here. Nearly, hitting 100 already. Yo, 6:30 p.m. in Ottawa, Canada. That's a nice time, man. That's a nice time. I try to catch everyone, you know. That's a nice time for you all. We got a few people in the studio already waiting to come on. So I'm not gonna keep too many waiting. We're gonna try to get as many people. Yeah, man. Let's stream for 90 minutes. Yeah, I just tweeted this 1% chance, 9% faith, all to play for tomorrow. Absolutely. Pixelated Pigeon already in the building. Listen, there's over 100 of you. I need to see 100 likes minimum already. No reasons. Blessings to you as well, Selection, bro. Let me tell me how you guys are feeling today. Let me get my words out. I'm not nervous. I might come across nervous. My words may not be coming out, but I'm calm. I'm very relaxed. I'm very calm and very relaxed. But you tell me how you feel. It's the time to dream. Yes, bro. People are letting me know, but I need to speak to people. This is what it's all about. As I said, people, as you come in, hit a like. That's all I ask for. Hit a like, and then we can talk. I think I got Cal waiting, and he's a new time caller. Don't forget, people, I'm going to try to give priority to first time callers. So I see you regulars in there, but just bear with me. I try to be fair to everyone, try to give everyone an opinion, and then we take it from there. Cal's going to hit the stream. Cal, how you doing, my man?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good, man. I can see you good. How are you? Tell us where you're calling from and who you support.
I'm from Liverpool, and I'm Liverpool fan. I live
You're
next.
wearing blue, Cal. You're wearing blue, man. Today
Yeah,
of all
sorry.
days, man. What is going on? Blue for Everton, blue for City. Cal, man, you've let me down, but it's good. It's good. It's good. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm calm. I'm relaxed. I'm not nervous at all at the moment. I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing, but tell me how you feel. That's more important right now.
I feel fine. I'm just glad that it's gone down to the wire to the last day. I think I'd feel a lot worse if we were like 10 points behind and it was just dead. But we've pushed it as far as we can, so whatever happens, happens.
We've done amazing, haven't we, Cal? The fact that we're literally a point behind, taking it to the last game. We've got 2 domestic trophies behind us in the cabinet, all waiting there, nice and shiny domestic trophies that we haven't seen for a little while. It's been a while since we won the League Cup. It's been a while since we won the FA Cup. It's not been a while since we won the Champions League and Premier League, yet we crave them. And we crave them because we're massive, because we're huge. We're institutions that look out for the Champions League and Premier League. But it's good to have. How'd you describe it, Cal? I like to have it like, is it insurance in the bank that, look, regardless of whatever happens in the next 2 games, we've had a good season. It could be an amazing season, or it could be an immortal season. That's one way of looking at it. Is that the only way of looking at it?
I think so. It can all change over these next 2 games. You know, we could take everything or we could take nothing. But we've won 2 trophies already, so you know, whatever happens, it's been incredible already. I mean, apart from maybe Real Madrid fans, everybody else would like to be in our position. So it's been amazing.
Are you look? People are saying, don't lie to yourself, Grizz. We're all nervous. Are you lying to yourself, Cal? Or are you nervous inside? Or are you going to get nervous tomorrow? Maybe.
I'll obviously be nervous during the match, but that's just because I want to win. I'm not nervous that it means it's a bad season or anything like that. It's not in our hands anymore, so I find it hard to be nervous because we rely on them to drop points. So we can only win our game, and that's it. And I'm sure we will because it's our home. So it's not in our hands. So we'll just have to see what happens.
We've got a first super chat before I get your opinion on something else. He says selection. He says, Grizz, I'm so worried. What a surprise, hey? Selection, you're worried. What a surprise. Real Madrid might come in for Salah and Mane now. The Athletic released a piece saying they'll be targeted. The best thing to do, selection, is stop reading pieces that are released. The best thing to do is focus on Liverpool's next 2 games. Watch us play football tomorrow. Then watch us play football on next Saturday. And then we'll get into the madness of the transfer window. And then we'll get into the madness of who's targeting who and all these headline pieces. Because we've just seen an absolute madness with the Mbappe situation. So, look, you don't rule nothing out. You don't rule nothing in. Just enjoy watching this amazing team play football selection. Don't be worried, my brother. But big up yourself anyway. We're playing Wolves at home tomorrow. Who would you say has got the harder game, Cal? Do you think we've got the harder game, or do you say Man City have got the harder game? How's that for a question to start off with?
I would actually say City have the harder game. I think Wolves are on the beach at this point. They've been hard to break down all season. They actually haven't conceded a lot compared to the teams around them. But I don't think they've got anything to play for at this point. City destroyed them the other week. So I think the pressure is all on City at the moment. They have to win that game, no matter what. So the pressure's all on them. And another reason is I would be pretty confident in Villa playing attacking football. I don't think they're going to try and sit back for 90 minutes against a flurry of attacks from City because a goal is just inevitable. So I think they're going to come out and just give it 100%. And as I say, the pressure's on them. So I would say they've got the harder game. It is at the Etihad,
that your
though,
Wi-Fi?
so
I think's a bit. Was that my Wi-Fi? I think it was. Was it my Wi-Fi, Cal?
yeah, it was your Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Okay, people, let me know. It's okay. I'll fix it right now, people. Cal, I hope you carried on like the professional that you are.
It's back now. I think you're good now.
Okay. I think I'm good now. Yeah, I think I'm back now. I'm gonna fix it now anyway. We're gonna add Rich to the call as well. Here we go. Rich, my man, how you doing?
Evening, doing well. Thank you for having me on.
It's not a problem, my friend. It's not a problem. Just give me 1 second while I try to fix this thing so the Wi-Fi don't happen. Rich, how you feeling, man? Talk to me, man. I know you're a Palace fan, but I know you've got good opinions. Me and Cal are not nervous. Should we be nervous? Should there be any pressure on us? How are you looking at it as a new?
There's absolutely no pressure on you, because most importantly, it's City that have to make sure that they do their job. Yes, you've got a job to do as well, but they're in the driving seat. And especially with you being at home, I agree with what Carl said. Wolves are on the beach. They're on the beach. We're kind of in a similar position as well. We're safe. I think we can get top 10 if results go away and we beat United tomorrow. But I think you'll probably turn Wolves over, to be honest. I think a lot of non-Liverpool
Is
fans.
my Wi-Fi still, or is?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you still.
Yeah,
Is my
you're
Wi-Fi,
okay.
is it mine bugging? Yeah.
Nah, you're good. And such. A lot of obviously non-Liverpool fans are saying, "Oh, Steven Gerrard, he's gonna try and obviously do this for Liverpool and so on and so forth." I think a lot of people have forgotten that if Man City do win the league, Aston Villa get 15 million from the Grealish deal. That's a lot of money. A lot of money for a club like for Villa, you know. So it's just going to be strictly down to footballing. Like, let's leave all the conspiracy theories behind and stuff. It's going to be the two best teams in the world battling it out on their own individual platforms, both teams at home, and it should make an entertaining end of the season.
Have you enjoyed it? Have you enjoyed it from a neutral? Do you appreciate the levels Man City and Liverpool have taken this league to, or do you think it's a poor league, it's a poor level? I'm going to ask both of you that question.
Go on, Kal, you go first.
100%. The fact that, you know, we can get 92 points where we're at and come second, it's just ridiculous that the how high the bar's been set in this league. When you drop points in one game, it feels like the world has just ended. Like, it feels like the season's done from one game, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, a few years ago, you could drop points here and there, and you can salvage your season later on. It feels like competing with City. If we drop a single point, it just feels so demoralising because they're just relentless, and so are we. But the bar has definitely been set extremely high.
Rich, looking at from the outside, how do you see the two teams? How do you see the two coaches, the styles of play? Do you have a preference? Be honest, it's not a problem. We can take it on here. But do you see the levels of the league improving? Have you seen, like, we're hitting 90 points, man? Both teams on a regular now.
It's unbelievable from the outside looking in. Regarding preference, I kind of like there's a mix, and I'll tell you why there's a mix. I love Klopp's intensity, the pressing. And like, we kind of see a bit of it in Vieira, what he's trying to do and stuff. However, I've always loved the passing and moving, the interchanging of a City side, you know. And I guess that's what brings this league, the beauty of this competition. It's two different styles, you know. It's like heavyweight boxing, and they're just going at each other 12 rounds. The standards that you've brought to the league are impeccable. A lot of people obviously say, "Oh, at City got the oil money," and to an extent, but when you think about when they spend, I don't think they spent anything more than 60 million.
You mean on a single player?
Yeah.
But there's I get that, but they spend 60 million on all 15 of their squad players.
Yeah, I get that. But what I'm trying to get at is that, like, other clubs around them who may not be getting those 80, 90 points, like the Chelsea's, Man United's, they've also spent 80s here, 100s here. And obviously, if Jack Grealish just forgot, So you've got to credit a little bit of what Man City's model is, and you've definitely got to credit Liverpool and how they've built. Klopp has a style of play. He identifies, obviously, who would fit it and gets them for peanuts. Diaz, oh my days, what a player. Unbelievable player. And to think that Jota was the go-to guy and Jota's now on the bench, you know, and that's one signing. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Kal, who's been your player of the season from a Liverpool point of view?
Mo Salah, 100%. I know he's had a dip in form, but I mean, the numbers don't lie. He's ridiculous. Definitely Mo Salah. I think it's so easy to forget just how how ridiculous the guy is. He's not scoring as much, but everything else that he's doing is passing and his link-up play. It's all the same standard as it was. Definitely Mo Salah. If not for Mo, I would say Alisson. I think Alisson is just on God mode this whole season. It's just feels unbeatable in a 1v1. So probably one of them too.
Yeah, I think a few people are calling out Alisson. Stephen O'Connor says
I
Alisson's
agree
my
with
player of the
Alisson.
year. Yeah, Rich,
I
I was going to ask you for Palace's player of the year, but go on, you can give us Liverpool's player of the year first.
Yeah, I agree with Alisson. Seeing him first hand at Sellers Park, I was like, how is this guy making these saves?
I was at that game. There was one save he made. It was offside, but still the save was when the ball came across. The ball comes across and he just with one hand, like sort of, it's a stunning save. But it wouldn't have stood. But it makes the striker think, shit, I've got to do something special here next time round to score, right?
And then late second half, Elise dinks him, and he's managed to claw it like how? Like it was just probably one of the greatest individual goalkeeping performances out there. You know.
A lot of people, and I agree with this. I think he's up there in terms of one of the best goalkeepers I've seen one-on-one. Would you two agree with that?
Yeah. And just to add on to that, I genuinely don't think we would be able to play the way we play without Alisson. I think if we had another keeper, it'd probably get by, but I don't think we'd be at that level.
He fits that stylistically, doesn't he?
He's just so integral because the way we play that high line, if somebody does get through, he's just a monster in goal. So
yeah, he is. And to answer your question about Palaces, obviously Conor Gallagher got it, but I've got to give Wolf a special mention. Patrick Vieira's he's changed his game and he's a lot more direct. You're seeing a lot less tricks. Like normally he would have beat a man, then try to beat a man again and stuff. Now he's like, all right, I'm going to beat you and try and get a shot off.
Has Vieira had an influence on that, do you think, Rich?
Massive. Okay. Saga came out in an interview earlier in the season and Vieira said, listen, you've all the tricks in the world, watch your output. And I think that was just the shifting of his mentality and saying, listen, you can score goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got 15, I think, in all comps, which for a winger is actually pretty decent.
For non-Liverpool wingers, that's very good.
Very good.
You know, but for Liverpool standard, that's what I'm saying. Again, we've raised the bar again for wingers. Do you know what I mean? People need to appreciate what Salah, Mane, and Jota and Diaz, these guys are doing from a winger. Because Zaha, you're right, that's very good output. You know, that's very good output for a winger. But it's good, man. Cal, is there anything else that you wanted to speak or ask or talk about before tomorrow? The studio's full, man. So many people want to come on. So
there's just one thing that I actually had in mind to talk about. I'll just get straight to the point. It's actually about one of our players, Nabi Keita. I just want to get your opinion on this, but I actually think that he's a bit of a flop of a transfer, and I'll explain why. I'm open to changing my point of view. But this guy has 11 goals and 7 assists in 4 years. For a central midfielder, even if he's playing a holding role or box to box, whatever, that is quite terrible. But it's even things that you can't put into raw numbers. Like, never seen a player so it's very strange. He just looks terrified on the ball sometimes. I don't know what it is, and I feel like our fan base sort of gives him a pass in a way. They say, like, you know, baby Keith and all this, and I don't feel his impact at all in 4 years. And we paid £50 million for this guy. You know, he's not a young prospect. He was brought in to be the main man, and he's just not that guy. So I don't know what you think, but I personally would be a lot more happy with him if he wasn't on the money that he's on, but he was brought in to be the big midfielder, and that output is just very poor, in my opinion, at least.
No, it's all about your opinions. This is the beauty of the Kall In Khan show. You give your opinions. It's not about my opinion. But now that you've asked my opinion, and we'll come to Rich from a neutral point of view. Of course, people in the chat, let us know what you think of Nabi Keita's time. Is he a flop? Is he been okay? Has he been unlucky? Give your opinions. This is my take on it, Cal. I agree with you in terms of he was bought as quite a marquee central midfield signing, especially for the price that we bought him for, especially the way we chased him, especially the way Klopp insisted that he wants Nabi Keita. The Nabi Keita that we bought from Leipzig, the role that he was used in at Leipzig was different. And it became very different when he came to Liverpool, especially he came at a time where we had just sold Phil Coutinho as well, and then we had the emergence of most of our play going through our fullbacks. Do you remember? Yeah. So suddenly Robertson and Trent became very, very important to the way Klopp played. Before it was Coutinho behind the front three. Do you remember?
Yeah.
We had the Fab Four.
Yeah.
Everyone thought Keita was going to play that role or similar to that role, but unfortunately for him, we changed the way we played. He was not used to playing as a three in midfield, as disciplined as we asked our three to play. So from my memory, people in the chat let me know, I think it was Gini, Henderson, possibly a lot of Milner and Fabinho, right? All midfielders that you'd call functional, hardworking, disciplined, know their roles, etc., etc. I think Nabi Keita took his time adjusting to those positions.
Yeah.
That role. And then I think he's been very unlucky with injuries. I think he's been very unlucky with not major injuries, but a lot of niggling small injuries. And when you get a consecutive niggling injuries, muscle injuries, you can't get any rhythm. And in this Klopp team, you have to be fit, and you have to have rhythm. I think he's been unfortunate from that aspect, but I genuinely believe that his performances this season, coinciding with his fitness levels, I think is harsh from my point of view to call him a flop.
Yeah.
If he didn't perform the way he did this season, I would have agreed with you, and I would have agreed with your opinion, and I would have said he's been a flop overall. But I think the way he's come back this strong in this season and added goals and assists, he scored some wonderful goals this season, and assists, and his general all-round play, I think he's been fantastic when he's played this season. So overall, I think he saved his career, Liverpool career. I think he's going to be offered a new deal. But if he didn't have this season, I would have agreed with your opinion. Cal, I don't know if you know much about Nabi or you've been watching Nabi Keita much. If you've got an opinion, I'm sorry. I'm just going to unmute you because there was a bit of background noise in your thing as well.
Oh, my bad.
No, I think it was Rich's.
Oh, okay.
Yours is fine, Cal. Just give us your opinion as well. Feel free to, Rich, on Nabi Keita.
Yeah, you pretty much said it all there. Where he was playing at Leipzig, he had more of a free role in a sense. Had a lot of players doing the running for him, and he was allowed to be quite creative going forward. You come to a new league, it needs time to adjust, and his biggest issue then became injuries. And especially in a club system where it's so high at pace, intensity, it probably took him some time to get used to. I would hope for his career, and obviously for the benefit of your team, that this is the kickstart season for him, because you need a squad of players. Liverpool have been well known of having a very good 11 and a bit of a ropey bench. Their bench is now starting to take a lot more shape, which is quite scary, and hopefully he can still cement himself in the squad. I think you've got other players like Oxlade-Chamberlain, who is more of a concern, Minamino, who's a bit more of a concern than Nabi.
Fair enough. Guys, it's been a pleasure speaking to both of you. Thank you very much for calling in. Hope to catch you guys soon again, man. Obviously, stay tuned. Don't just because you've had your piece now. But listen, make sure you guys call in again another time. I'm going to try to do these more and more regular. But Cal, Rich, nice one, guys. Speak to you soon, guys. Take care.
Thanks,
Appreciate
mate. Bye.
Nice one. Bye bye. Okay, so we've got Avinash waiting to come in. Avinash, hope you're ready to come in. And I'm going to add Avinash with Jamie at the same time. Here we go. The famous Fabrizio Romano words, here we go. I didn't mean to say here we go in that sense, but Avinash, most welcome. Tell us where you're calling from and who you support.
I'm a Liverpool fan, obviously. Calling from San Francisco, California.
Okay, the land of my very good friend Blue Chip himself.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I've been following him on Twitter and elsewhere. So yeah.
Unfortunately, you haven't got Blue Chip to deal with today. Unfortunately, he's actually with family, so he may pop in later if he gets a chance. But you got me to do it. You're very welcome, and of course, Jamie. Jamie, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well now that I'm here, Grizz. Love to be on. Always love to chat. So I'm excited. Been waiting all day.
Absolute pleasure, man. Absolute pleasure. Let's go. Avinash, talk to me, brother. What you want to speak about? How you feeling? Tell us everything. Ask me anything. Talk about anything.
Yeah.
Liverpool related, quad related, nervous related. Talk to me, brother. The floor is yours.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just feeling a mixture of so many things. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. I'm also nervous. It's just uncanny that we are in the same position 3 years later. We're playing a home game at Wolves. We are a point behind. We're hoping for Manchester City to slip up, but we have to do the job. But at the same time, it feels so different, because
I was gonna say, do you feel the same or do you feel different? I was gonna ask you, but it's good to ask yourself the question.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that a lot. So even though the circumstances are the same, it feels very different because it feels like that team, as brilliant as it was, we were 3 years into the project and we hadn't won anything. And we had to get that monkey off our backs of winning a trophy because everything Klopp had done, we Liverpool fans could see, the progress year on year. And then we were absolutely happy with that. But, you need those trophies. You need to rack them up to show progress. Otherwise, rival fans banter and all that. Not that we care about that, but for us, we wanted to celebrate something, right? And after the season that we had played, to go trophyless would have been an absolute travesty. So there was so much pressure. And we knew it was going to be hard on the final day. And then everything would be on the Champions League final, which, albeit it was an easier game against Tottenham, still it's a Champions League final, right? So there was a lot of pressure in that sense. But this time, it's a completely different situation because this team now has won the set. They won everything there is to win. We've already won 2 trophies this very season. So the pressure is simply not there. For me, no matter what happens, it's just an occasion to enjoy. I wish I was at Anfield. And if I was, I would just be having a ball because it just feels so amazing that, this team is on the cusp of achieving something nobody else has. And you asked me how I was feeling, right? In some ways, I don't know how to feel because nobody's been in this situation, right? Being in for a quadruple, going into the final weekend of the season, just let that sink in. It's crazy. Sometimes we just go through the season as a game after game every 3 days. So we don't really understand the impact of what this team is achieving. You see all these numbers and records that they're breaking from time to time, but sometimes you just have to sit back and soak it all in. So for me, it's just I have a few friends who are Manchester United fans, and even they don't know what it feels like.
Oh dear.
Considering what they've achieved and the treble-winning team, even they don't know what it feels like to be on the cusp of a quadruple. So, overall, I'm nervous. I'm just like I can't concentrate. I have a job interview next week, and I just can't prep. I can't study. All I'm thinking about is tomorrow. I'm going to be going to San Francisco to the pub to just celebrate with the fans. I was there for the FA Cup final. It was amazing. I hope, something can happen. I was there 3 years ago as well. Didn't work out, the same situation. But I've just been playing so many different scenarios in my head. Manchester City 3-0 up in 30 minutes. as what we, a lot of people think might happen. Getting to halftime without a goal, the fans getting nervous. That's kind of what we are all betting on, I think, because I know last time I've heard a lot of fans saying last time they were away from home, so this time they're at home. But that could actually work against them in a way, because 10 years ago, the situation they were in, we all know the Aguero goal, and that could easily not have happened. This time also, I feel like there is a lot of nervousness among City fans because of the situation they were in mid-January, 14 points ahead. Whereas for us, it just feels like we've been hunting them down, and whatever we get is a bonus, right? The very fact that we are 1 point behind going into the final weekend is just crazy. Everything that we've done. So there is a lot of nervousness there. I can sense it. I can sense it on Twitter. I have a couple of friends as well who follow Man City. I can sense there is nervousness. So if Aston Villa can somehow, just hold on till about halftime, I think there could be something on. But then again, it's just all of these scenarios are playing in my head, and I'm just like, tomorrow morning it just couldn't come soon enough.
Avinash, I think you've summed up pretty much every scenario in every fan's head. I think you've spoke very well. I think you've described your mental state very well, and so many people can relate to it. So many people are thinking what you've just said there, feeling what you've just said there, and especially the point that you made about the same scenario is uncanny. That it is a very similar scenario, but yet so different. And I think for me personally, the difference is the insurance of 2 trophies in the bag.
Yeah.
And that plays in my humble opinion, it plays a very positive role in the mentality of the squad, the coach, and most of the fan base. There is sections of the fan base that don't give a shit about those trophies. I don't want to speak about that section of the fan base. But the majority of the fan base feels as though our club's history, our club was built on winning trophies, regardless of whether they were the League Cup, the FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League, whatever. The reason why the Champions Wall is there is because it takes note of all the trophies we've won. If they were irrelevant, that wall wouldn't be there, and we wouldn't be relevant. So because we have the most trophies, right, out of all the clubs in the Premier League, and because we've won those trophies, those people that disregard them now. So that's one difference. I think, again, the point that you made about that was the early infancy of this team. We were still evolving. We were still developing. I'd say we are at our peak now in terms of the age group of the players, the experience, everything, skill level, mental level. I think we're at our peak now. And I think it's a fair observation to say that because it's culminated in us on the crest of a quad that has never been achieved. Even though the odds are stacked up against us, as you said, it's very unlikely that Man City don't win. But the fact that we're there and it's possible shows that we are at our peak. But again, going into that Champions League final, Avinash, I don't know how you was, but against Spurs, I was so confident. I've never been that confident of a Champions League final or any final in a one-off game. I was adamant that we are going to win the Champions League. How do you feel this time going around in the Champions League final against Real Madrid?
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like I've not had time to think about it because it's always looking to the next game.
Yep.
It's almost like we are in the same mentality.
You're a professional, Avinash. You are a professional. You are a coach. You are what the managers say. Look, we're just focusing on the next game. I like that. But listen, you're allowed to look forward on this channel.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go for the Champions League.
So every time I think about it, a few times I have thought about it, I am confident. I mean, I can't say I'm not because, look, we are a better team than Real Madrid. Let's face it. Real Madrid have been capable of moments this season. Nobody will take it away from them. Nobody will take away their history. Nobody will take away the 13 Champions Leagues. Nobody will take away the fact that they beat us 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, right? But we are a better team. They got dominated in like against Manchester City. They got dominated for what 179 out of the 180 minutes, and basically turned up for 2 of them. So, and the big difference this time is they're not going to have the Bernabeu. It's going to be a neutral menu. It's probably going to be almost. It's going to feel like Anfield, because as Liverpool fans, we're going to turn up. We're going to paint the town red. We're going to paint that stadium red. I'm sure it's going to feel like a home game. Somehow we just managed to do it every time. So I think that there is a gulf already because of that. And plus, of course, it's very different from 4 years ago. We have a score to settle. Don't underestimate that. I know Klopp will probably play it down. He'll say, you know what, it doesn't matter. It's all about one game. It's not about revenge, this, that. But bloody well behind the scenes, he is going to be lighting a fire up there. Butts, basically. And, we've already had Mo Salah. He wants to win this, and he wants to win this bad. If there was no Champions League final, there is absolutely no way he goes off on 30 minutes in the FA Cup final. No chance. No, I have never seen, I don't know if you have, I don't even remember seeing Mo go down at all in a game like that. I just don't remember it. He's a beast. So
He is.
For me, that tells me that he's probably even ready to put the golden boot aside, if it means that he's going to be fit and firing the Champions League final. So don't underestimate that. Mo Salah is absolutely massive for us this time, because he's going to be single-minded, and when he's focused, I don't care how whatever he's done in the second half of the season, people will say he's not been at his best. People don't realize the things that this guy does, the number of players that he sucks in, and what impact that it has. You can just hit a 60-yard diagonal, and his exquisite first touch, he'll bring it down. 2 players, 3 players get dragged towards him. It's just crazy, the impact that he has. When you don't have him, as soon as Jota came on, I love Jota, by the way, and I think he did a really good job in the final, but you could see that suddenly we just did not have a threat. Marcos Alonso was getting forward. It was just so different. The game changed after that. So anybody who's underestimating impact of Mo Salah, you got to think again. So all of these, so that's another thing, right? And this is a very different team, like we've already discussed. Real Madrid might be winners. They might have winners in our team, but so do we. Every one of these players, not just before, but this season as well, we have trophies. We won trophies. We won cup finals. It feels like we'll never lose a penalty shootout again. Touch wood. I hope I'm not jinxed that, but bloody hell, our penalty shootouts. I mean, people will say it's a lottery. No, not on the basis of that. We are actually getting hold of this. The whole neuroscientist 1%. I know people are mocking that. They'll laugh at it, but
they're not laughing now, Avinash. They're not laughing now.
Yeah. Don't underestimate the things that this team and this club is doing behind the scenes. Like every little thing. I mean, I've been reading that they have the people who are like, scientists and people who have PhDs working on algorithms and whatnot, not even related to football really, but everything that every little 1% that could possibly make a difference, this club is doing it. We are a template.
We are.
So many people don't even know. So many.
Avinash, I couldn't disagree with anything you've said. I'm going to bring in Jamie, who's been patiently waiting while Avinash has been making some brilliant points and relaying his feelings. And this is what I wanted to get tonight. I wanted people to relay their feelings and how they get their nervousness out, get their passion out, get their confidence out, however they're feeling. Jamie, talk to me, man. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Welcome.
Grizz, I think I'm a smart guy. I just try and not think about these things until they happen. But now hearing how Avinash has processed all of it, I'm a little bit nervous now thinking about all of it. But I just think about the point that we talked about where things are contextually the same, but seemingly feeling different. And from 2015, when Klopp came in, there was the Carabao Cup, which we lost to City on pens. There was the Europa League that we lost to Sevilla, and then the Champions League. So that's 3 on this finger, or on this hand. And then we go over here, got the Champions League, got the Super Cup, got the Club World Cup, got the Carabao Cup, got the FA Cup. There's something in a psychological leap in a moment when you do something for the first time that it gives you the ability to then go from there. I mean, the classic case of, no one had run a 4-minute mile, then the first person to do it, then everyone's running a 4-minute mile. I mean, this is a classic kind of, joke comparison, but, no one was squatting 400, 500 pounds. Then with the advent of the internet, everyone is now squatting 400, 500 pounds seemingly easy. And everyone thinks that it's an easy feat when it's really not. But once you see someone do it, once you see yourself do it, it completely changes the context. And, I had my notes here. I was going to go a bunch of different ways. But the thing that I just want to share right now, how I'm feeling is, I have the day that I married my wife. I have, my graduation with my family there, special moments in my life. And then I think about all the other times that I was as equally happy. And I think about the times that I'm with my best mates, watching the Reds, watching Liverpool, go out on these adventures, go out on these journeys. And so tomorrow and next Saturday, people, please, whatever happens, just enjoy yourself. Be grateful. Live in the moment, because right now I think about last year where we were, and I was in Brazil. And this would have been in January, February of last year. I was in Brazil. And I just remember being up late at night, seeing some weird stuff on Twitter, in the Twitter forums in Portuguese speaking Brazilian realms of Twitter. And it got mentioned that something had happened to Allison's father. And, I'm checking like crazy. And it eventually gets confirmed that night. And then other international sources came in and confirmed it. And I was just, beside myself thinking about the whole world is going through all this stuff. There's someone on Liverpool who's affected by this. I know people who are affected by this. And although his father didn't pass away from the pandemic, the tragic circumstances just compiled, and it made it seem like, damn, like, when are we going to be done with this? And that was such a dark time. And I think lots of people resonate with that. And then, going to when he scored his header goal up until now, it's just been this crazy ride. And I was at Spurs at home the other day, and I hate to admit this, but throughout the game, I couldn't even focus on the game because I was just so in love with the atmosphere, the cauldron of fire that Anfield is. And so I'm just going into it tomorrow with the expectation of, this could be some of the greatest days as Liverpool fans' lives, whether it happens or not. That's how I feel about it. And so to just think, no matter what happens tomorrow, we still have a Champions League final. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it growing up as a fan in the United States. And, it's not the same as if you were someone growing up in a school in London or in Liverpool or in Manchester and you supported Liverpool. But I remember all the digs from my friends. Oh, your team is this, your team is that. You've never seen them win anything, whatever. And it's not the spite of proving those people wrong, but it was always the thoughts of like, man, I wish more than anything I could see Liverpool win the Premier League. Or man, I wish more than anything I could see Liverpool win the Champions League. And next week we could do both, get 3 and 4 trophies. I mean, what is there else? What is there else?
There isn't. There is absolutely nothing else. And this is why when people, I think you nailed it when you said enjoy these times. Enjoy them because of the journey. When you've been through a journey like Liverpool fans have, and it's been a roller coaster of a journey, just when our trajectory was going through sort of to the stars and the moon, last season happens, like you said. Because I think to a man, to a pundit, to a journalist, to opposition fan, everyone was making us favorites for last season after the performance of the season before, where we wiped the floor with the league. We didn't win it, we obliterated the league. And we didn't obliterate normal teams. We obliterated the Man City, the very Man City that people are talking about as one of the greatest squads the Premier League's ever seen. We obliterated them because we were, I know I say we're at our peak now, but we were probably near enough on our peak then as well. Yeah. Last season, people don't. don't realize maybe, or the effect it could have had mentally, as you said, on these players. Jurgen Klopp lost his mother, his one of his main stars, one of his linchpins, lost his father. He lost his main stalwart of a centre-back, his leader for the whole season. In the second game, was it, people, or third game or something like that?
It was fourth or fifth.
Fourth game. Then he loses centre-back after centre-back. And he has nowhere to go, like literally nowhere to go because of the pandemic. He's in this bubble of Liverpool, tragedy after tragedy, personal tragedy, team tragedy. How much can this guy do? Like, how much can he take on mentally? And to come out of all of that darkness, to see him, when you see him now, I was in no doubt that he's going to sign a new extension because of the man that he is, because he's not only a great coach, he's a magnificent human being. And the emotions that he's gone through, when he saw a bit of light, he ran towards that light. And he knew this is the most happiest place for him, his family. And us fans need to take that on board as well, man, and enjoy it. Like, I'm forever speaking with Liverpool fans that are asking me the same question. And I'm fed up of it. And I didn't want to address it, but I'm going to address it because all opinions valid and we have to ask the hard questions or tough questions or whatever. And I get asked, Grizz, if we don't win the Champions League or the Premier League, is this going to be the extreme ones say, is this a disastrous season? Then there's the ones that say it's going to be a demoralizing season, or disappointing, sorry, I should say, the season, or a good season, or what? I'm going to ask you guys before, or Avinash, before we keep it moving, I'm going to ask you, my brother, how do you see the next two games and how do you see the different scenarios and how would you rank the season if the different scenarios come off or don't come off?
Look, for me, it's a fantastic season. I don't care what happens in the next two games. We're going to have a parade, right, in Liverpool. No matter what, I think they confirmed that recently. And I'm so happy that's happening because these players deserve it. It really, really deserve to have. We need to celebrate this team, no matter what. So for me, yes, I will be disappointed, 100%. I'm not going to lie. I'll be disappointed even if we don't win the title tomorrow after everything I've said. But it doesn't matter. What these players have given us, for me, I've always maintained it's all about the journey. All this, I mean, of course, we want to win trophies for ourselves. But a lot of times it's about Twitter, it's about rival fans and, that sort of banter. You want to have something to say, oh, we won that much, we won. Even though we know it's a little bit petty, we know what we're in this for. It's not always that, but just to be able to shut them up in a way, right? But for me, it's all about the journey. Like even the season, the first season at the Klopp, where we got to the Europa League final and the League Cup final, I was like, the memories that gave me, right? I still can't forget it. It was one of the most memorable seasons that I've had as a Liverpool fan, because think about where we were a few seasons before that. We were absolutely in the doldrums, losing 6-1 to Stoke on the final day. We've basically given up on seasons in like March, April, maybe even before that. So to have this guy walk in and give us so many memories in such a short space of time, the Dortmund game, the United game, even the League Cup, the game against Stoke, the penalty shootout, and we have actually surpassed that. We've gone to levels that no other team has, playing every single game in a season. I think we are the only team to do so when you include the European Cup, basically. I think that's right in England. I mean, we've done it before, but not. We were in the Europa League, UEFA Cup back in 2000, 2001. So for me, what this team has achieved, the memories they've given us, even even after the 2018 Champions League final, I tweeted out that the memories will always live with me. That matter until the final, even though I was gutted that I lost. So yeah, in summary, for me, it's a fantastic season. The memories will always live with me, and just enjoy the last two games, no matter what. If there is disappointment, so be it. Take the disappointment, take it in your stride, because you better be rest assured these players will, this manager will, and they will be back next season. And I won't be surprised if we storm the league again like we did in 2019-20.
100%. 100%.
That's basically where I'm at.
Avinash, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you.
Same here.
Thank you very much for coming on. You take care of yourself. I wish us all the best in the next 2 games. And hopefully when we do an end of season call-in, we will be celebrating immortality as a football club. Fingers crossed and prayers and best of positive thoughts and all of that.
Yeah.
Good luck, my friend. Take care. We speak to you soon. Take care.
Take care.
Jamie, I'm going to keep you up here, my bro. I'm going to add in Mozzie right now. While I add Mozzie, I'm going to read out this super chat from Nikhil. Guna here. Love when opposition fans and rival fans tune in to a predominantly Liverpool channel, but absolutely humbled by the support because we tried to keep it fair. We tried to keep it real on this channel as much as it's possible. Guna here, first time I'm watching your channel. Been an incredible season for the pool, regardless whether they win the UCL and PL or not. This team is definitely better than the 1999 United treble-winning team. Years of hard work. Really appreciate the support. Really appreciate the super chat, and most definitely appreciate you thinking that we're better than the 1999 United treble-winning team. Mozzie, welcome to the channel, my friend. I think you're on mute. I'll put you on mute.
No. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. How are you? Where are you calling from? And who do you support?
So my name is Mozzie. I'm from London, of course, and I support Chelsea. Yeah, I'm a rival fan here. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're still welcome, my friend. How are you doing?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I just got a couple questions for you about Chelsea, about Liverpool. Obviously, where I want to start is, you see, with Tuchel, and if he gets backed by the new owners, which I'm very optimistic about, if he gets back properly in the next 2 or 3 years, are you worried looking behind you?
Okay, so the simple answer from my point of view is no. You're not the team that I'm looking at. The reason for that is not because of your coach. I think your coach is a quality coach. I think he's class. I just think the situation that you guys find yourself in my opinion, is very tricky, is very awkward. And he's spoken about it himself. He's spoken about how he's got major senior players leaving. So it's very difficult to improve when not only do you have to replace these major senior players, influential players, at the same time replace them, and then at the same time improve your squad in certain other areas. Now, you will know your club far better than me, but it's fair to say not only do you need to replace the likes of Rudiger, Christensen,
100%,
Alonso,
100%.
Aspilicueta, possibly, right? Not only you have to, even Silva is what, 37 now or something, coming up to sort of the twilight of his career, is fair to say, even though he's one of my favorite centre backs of the last decade or so. Not only do you have to replace these senior, very influential players, but you will tell me, I think that you have to improve your attack, your efficiency,
100%.
your output, and also your reliability and efficiency and durability in midfield. I don't see you guys doing that in one summer, possibly 2 summers. So that's why I don't really regard you guys as a team that I look over my shoulder and say, oh shit. That's just my opinion. I don't know if you agree or disagree with it.
No. For me, I was talking about for the next 3 or 4 years, because I don't expect anything in the next 2 years at all. At all. I don't expect anything. And my other question was, looking at Liverpool and Man City, how long do you think you man's dominance will be up top?
Let's ask Jamie that question. I've spoken way too much for a call-in show, man. But I'm sorry. When I start talking, I get carried away. But let's ask Jamie that question.
Simple answer: as long as Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola are at those respective sides, I think it's fair to assume that even if someone had a squad as good as those 2 squads that have been built, there isn't a manager, with maybe the exception of a Conte, maybe, who could outcoach those 2 over 38 games. And so the thing with that is, with your situation at your club right now, there's players from a Sarri era, a Conte era, a Frank Lampard era, and now a Thomas Tuchel era. And my genuine question is, from all those eras, are they actually really any of those coaches' players, or are those Marina Granovskaya's players who she knew over the long term in the transfer market, we can definitely turn a profit with each of these guys? I'm sure that it's a combination of the two somewhere in the middle. But using that point, right, Klopp and Pep Klopp's been in the job in the Premier League the longest out of any other manager, and I'm sure Pep must be a close second to that. And with that being said, you get the squad retention and you get the consistency. And so they're already starting at a place where they're 5, 6, 7 years into a project. And so to even compete with them over the long term, I think you have to have someone who stays in a job somehow at Spurs, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, even maybe for like 3.5 years before you can even get to that point to say, all right, we're going to make a go at these guys for the next 2 or 3 years. But that's just my opinion.
What's your response to that, Mozzie? Do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that?
100%.
Neutral?
100%. I agree with that, because Tuchel earlier I saw in an article, he was saying that we are losing players, but you lot are keeping on strengthening, which is a problem. So how are we going to catch you lot? But, we just have to pray that one of the two managers fall out, and then we see from there.
Have you done much research on your new owners? Do you know much about them, how they operate, how they work?
I see that from Todd Bowley's perspective, I remember he tried to buy us in 2019, but he got rejected by Abramovich back then. But so I see that he's really optimistic, and I've done some research on his club, on the baseball team that he owns, and I think LA Dodgers, yes. And they're really doing well there. They're like the Real Madrid of baseball in America and all of that, because they have the top players. They do smart investing. That's what I really look up to as well. So I'm pretty optimistic with him. But in terms of a league challenge, it's a bit of a long way away.
Are you hoping that they persevere with Tuchel, or are you one of these ones that not sure about Tuchel? Where do you stand with him? Because I know it's not mixed yet. The majority do still want Tuchel to be the man to lead you out of this, I wouldn't say wilderness yet. I wouldn't say it's doom and gloomy yet, but a lot of people are fearful. A lot of Chelsea fans are fearful. Man City and Liverpool are going to be strong. Spurs are going to be stronger. Arsenal, in my opinion, are going to be stronger. Man United may take another 2-3 seasons, but they're going to be stronger eventually, just for the money and name. And now they've got a quality coaching on board as well. Is Tommy the man? I call him Tactical Tommy. I don't know if you know.
Yeah. I've seen you on the Big Six say that a lot.
It's,
kind of pisses me off, but it's
yeah. No, it's cool, man. Listen, I'm there to piss some sections of the fan base off, but it is what it is, man. I only say it in banter. I rate the guy. I think he's a fantastic coach. I just don't think the reason why I banter him is I don't think he's in the elite level of Pep and Jurgen Klopp, man.
100%. Yeah, that's fine.
So, but do you is he the man to lead you out of this sticky patch possible coming up?
Yeah, for me, there's no one else better in the market, really. And so I think if the board backs him all the way, I don't really have any doubts, really. But obviously, going for the league is a strong mile away. The main thing we need to compete for is like Champions Leagues, FA Cups and League Cups. This year we couldn't, unfortunately. But I think I'm pretty optimistic, except for the league, going forward, if they back him fully.
Fair enough. Listen, it's been nice talking to you, man. For a Chelsea fan, you're quite cool, bro. You know what I mean? Stay cool. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say stay Chelsea fan, but you're always welcome. You're always welcome to come over to the good side. You know what I mean? So you're still young. There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But listen, all the best, my man. Take care of yourself.
I just want to say the worst of luck's next week and the worst of luck tomorrow. Yeah. But
no problem.
Good luck in your life and everything. All right, Jamie.
Nice one. Take care. Look after yourself.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's only fair. Oops. Okay, we got Aki next. Here we go. Aki, my brother, how are you doing? You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, brother. How are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Southport, actually.
Okay, I don't need to ask you who you support because you've got the amazing full kit. You're ready, bro. It looks like you're ready for tomorrow.
I'm going tomorrow, actually. Yeah, I'm going.
You lucky man. So we may bump into each other. You never know. We may bump into each other. You never know.
Managed to get tickets like last minute, but yeah, and I'll be in Paris. But I haven't got a ticket in Paris, but I'll be going to Paris hopefully with the family. You know, they've
sample the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, I heard there's a fan zone or something they're doing outside. So you know, it's nice to be part of that.
They say it's outside, but let me warn Liverpool fans that are listening in as well. It's actually about 45 minutes to an hour away.
Oh, really?
But still, listen, you know, beggars can't be choosers, so it should be still, the atmosphere should be popping off and all good, man. But talk to me, bro. How you feeling? What you want to talk about? What's on your chest? What's on your mind?
Oh, God, on my chest, there's so many things on my chest, to be honest. I mean, hearing some of the people obviously on here today, I follow you a lot as well on the Big Six show and
appreciate that, bro.
Other shows and what have you. Yeah, I don't know how to say this, like, in a very kind of, I don't want to sneer the two domestic trophies, obviously, that we've already won. I mean, the FA Cup, we haven't won it for 16 years, you know, back 2006 with Gerrard and what have you. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to kind of be disparaging, but the stature of Liverpool and obviously the illustrious history that we have and, you know, being the most successful British club in England, and obviously we're going to add more trophies, and I'm chuffed that we win 2 domestic trophies. But not winning a major trophy, I mean, as a diehard Liverpool fan, as someone that's supported them all their life, and, you know, again, the size of Liverpool, I mean, you expect for us to be in a final of the Champions League, and obviously the Premier League is a long shot now. I just can't see, as much as I like the romantic story behind Gerrard and Coutinho and what have you, and Ings being former Liverpool players, I just can't see Villa doing anything. I mean, I think it'll be done at half time. But not winning a major trophy, I don't know. It doesn't sink in with me, to be honest. I just can't see, like, the stature of Liverpool celebrating 2 domestic trophies, although that's a great achievement. And again, I'm not sneering those trophies. It's amazing. But not winning one of those 2 major trophies, for me, it's like you've got a cake. And obviously the 2 cherries on the top for me are the domestic cups, which is the League Cup and the FA Cup. But the cake is...
You want that cake?
It's the Premier League and the Champions League. With as much as you might love the 2 domestic cups, as much as you might talk about them, and the great achievements and the journey that we've been on, and being the only team to have played every possible match possible, is a great achievement. But at the end of the day, nobody's going to remember that, you know, I'm talking about non-Liverpool fans. Nobody's going to remember that we went on this journey, you know. Between us Liverpool fans, we'll be extremely disappointed. And then from the outside, they're going to go, you got to the final. But who's going to remember you got to the final? Who's going to remember you went on this amazing journey and you played every league game? There's no titles for that, you know. So that is kind of my take, as much as it pains me to say it as a diehard Liverpool fan and being brought up with a family that all support Liverpool as well. And I don't know. So that's how I see it.
No, I see where you're coming from, and I'll give my opinion on it. Jamie, I'm going to ask your opinion on it. Do you see where Aki's coming from, or what do you think about what Aki's saying? And do you feel the nervousness as well? Like, it's almost, Aki, is it like would I be fair in saying it's almost like a fear inside you, isn't there, that, you know, if we don't win one of the big ones, what am I going to say to my friends that come for me? Is it that?
There is a part of that because, right, originally I'm Lebanese, okay? So my dad came here in the 70s, and obviously he went to Liverpool University, and this is where the whole Liverpool thing came in and what have you. But the other side of the family are all United fans. So obviously I get constant banter. Obviously growing up, they won all the major trophies, the titles, and they surpassed our 18 league titles and won the 20. And we won our 19th and then what have you. And we should have won our 20th if it wasn't for City, obviously, in the league. But there is a part of me that is kind of dreading the banter that I'm going to get. But it's more so me as a Liverpool fan and knowing the illustrious history that we've had and the team that we have now, I haven't in my generation. I'm 38 now, or going on to 39. In my generation, being brought up, I've never seen Liverpool team this strong. I've never seen the players that we have today, or the manager that we have today. Obviously, big up Sir Kenny. But I mean, in terms of Klopp and the team that we have now, I've not seen a team like this in my entire career, in my entire kind of life bringing up. But it's just that part of me that it's a shame that such a team with such great players and such a revolutionary manager doesn't win more titles, major titles. That is kind of what's really,
it's bugging you.
It's eating me from the inside. I just can't swallow it. It's so difficult for me to swallow it because, as I said, if it wasn't for City, we'd be sitting here now and talking about 20 and 21 titles, league titles, and he said it himself. It's us that's kind of raised the bar, whether it's for City and vice versa. So, yeah, it's just a bit of both, but more so the latter. More so, it's just a shame such a team, such a manager, only winning 2 domestic trophies. Listen, going into the Champions League final, I'm not usually this confident. I mean, you were saying before that you were really confident going into the Champions League final against Spurs. I wasn't that confident, not because we're not better than Spurs. It's just like English teams, the kind of rivalry, they know each other inside out and what have you. And this is why I was kind of really wanted Madrid. I was kind of like Salah. I really wanted Madrid for 2 reasons. Just one, obviously, getting revenge for 2018. And more so kind of, it's a Champions League, it's playing an English side in the Champions League final. It's just another league match, but just brings that extra zest to it when it's a kind of European side and a very prominent European side in Real. So that is kind of where I'm coming from.
Look, I see where you're coming from, and I hear that. I'm going to ask Jamie's opinion first, but first and foremost, there's like 370 of you here, man. You guys are mad, amazing. I'm loving the support. But hit the like button in it. The ratio of likes is poor. I've enjoyed this chat. I don't know about you guys, man. Some of these callers, some of these brothers have been amazing to talk to. In fact, I'm probably looking to hire some of these men and ditch the likes of Conroy and Avi and all the Evan and all the waste people, man. I mean, their jobs are under threat. But listen, talking of Avi, I must give a shout out to his niece, man. Aria, I hope I've said that right. She's a massive Liverpool fan out in America. So big up yourself, Aria. I know you're traveling with your uncle Avi right now. So yeah, I know times can be hard and you're probably not enjoying his company, but listen, the journey will be over very soon and you'll be free from Uncle Avi. But big up yourself, Aria. Shout out to Aria, massive Liverpool fan out in the USA. Jamie, Aki's been, I love the honesty from Aki. I could hear the I'm sorry, I'm going to use that word again, Aki, fear. Because at the moment,
yeah,
it's only fear. At the moment, we haven't lost the league title. At the moment, we have not we haven't not finished runners-up in the Champions League final as well. So at the moment, it's a fear based on, I don't know. It's based on each individual's experiences and how they see things and perceive things and perception. Me, I tend to think, people talk about half empty and half full. I think I'm just half. Like, I don't want to add the full or empty to me. That's just me. I try to be as real and in the middle as I can and see things for what they are. And based on each individual's experiences, that's how you come to that conclusion. But I hear you, and I know Jamie is a very positive guy. So it'll be interesting to see his perception and his feelings in response to what you've said. Jamie.
Well, I completely agree with Aki in the sentiment of whenever there's a chance to win a Premier League or a Champions League, anyone who says that in the back of their mind they're not dying for their team to get their hands on it isn't a true football fan. So anyone who says otherwise, football is not for you. And so I'm dying for Jordan Henderson to hit the shuffle twice in the next 2 weeks. But for me, I made peace with things in the Premier League in, I think it was 2019 or 2020, when the FFP case that got brought against City was overturned and seemingly nothing happened.
That was
yeah. And so for me, I've made peace with the fact that we are going up against a sports washing juggernaut machine entity that whatever we get from here on out, I am more than happy with that, because I'll go back to what you said, Aki. Your Manchester United family is ready to go if Liverpool fail. But there's an awkward silence right now between tomorrow and the Champions League final. Why? Because Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, for the next 10 years, I'll be very, very shocked if they touch more titles than Liverpool or Manchester City.
No, I completely agree with you. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I'm not worried about anyone other than City. I mean, listen, as far as Klopp, as long as Klopp and Guardiola stay at City and Liverpool respectively, I'm not worried about anything else. I think that is going to be the rivalry for the next 4 years. Obviously, Klopp's now extended to 2026. At least until then, it's going to be the two teams. I can't see anyone else competing for anything, to be honest. I mean, at least the league and the Champions League. The FA Cups and League Cup, it's a different story. But no, I'm not worried about them at all.
No, and the thing is, I understand. I would be disappointed if we didn't win the Premier League or the Champions League with the opportunity being so close. But for me, having the Liverpool journey that I've had, to see 2 trophies in one season, regardless of the status, because, going long periods of time where you don't win anything, it makes you crave a trophy. And even look back at Leicester last year, albeit that they missed out on Champions League. I don't know how many Leicester fans would trade Champions League for the FA Cup that they won against Chelsea. I don't think many, if any, would trade, because winning a trophy is the penultimate thing. And even if it's their Europa League, go ask those Frankfurt fans if they care that it's not the Champions League. They've got a trophy in their hand. And so if we lose to Manchester City on the final day on 92 points and they have 93, and we lose to Real Madrid a week from today, will I be happy? No. But will I think it's been a bad season? Absolutely not. And as Grizz said, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle here, because if you don't enjoy the things that you've got, if you don't look on the bright side sometimes, I'm not saying being unrealistic or not looking at things through a lens that's of reality, then you'll never be happy at all. And so for me, I'm happy with these 2 cups, but I'm hoping for 2 more, and we've got the chance. So I'm not going to say die until it's dead.
No, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you, but it's just kind of, you need a bit of context in there. I mean, obviously, you've given the example of Leicester and Frankfurt, but you look at their history compared to our history, I mean, it's not kind of comparable, Liverpool have always had an illustrious kind of history. In the 70s and the 80s, we were at the peak. We were, the team to beat. We won everything there is to be. So it's just that maybe, us kind of being brought up in this environment, and me kind of being born and raised in Liverpool and seeing all this, and we're a bit spoiled, we just want everything. We want everything to kind of be perfect. We want the elite titles. We want the major titles. We want the Champions League and Premier League. So this is why anything else, as I was alluding to earlier, is kind of the cherry on top. But the cake, the bulk of it, is the major titles, the Champions Leagues and the league.
Yeah, the league and the Champions League pair better with the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup than they stand alone. I will not dispute that at all. But
I'm confident going into the Madrid final. I'm confident. I'm more confident than going into the Spurs final.
I'm a lot more confident today after all this news about their buddy who is supposed to be joining us just drops like a bomb on Twitter, going crazy, and nobody knows what's happening. He's going here, he's going there. Some people were saying he was going to Liverpool.
And listen, it's kind of a bittersweet moment for me with that Mbappe saga, is because it's kind of Madrid got a bit of a taste of their own medicine, because Madrid have always kind of got what they wanted, and they've always kind of, always attracted the biggest major players, and nobody's ever kind of said no to them. And now for someone just as big as them in the juggernaut like PSG, again, the bitter thing about it is they're ruining football.
Absolutely.
These Qataris, these what have you. You know, I lived in the Middle East for a long time, and I know what they're like. And you know, the kind of it's become the sport that we love is kind of been commercialized to an extent where they're just ruining football. You just don't enjoy it as much when you see teams like this kind of giving like Mbappe the keys to the kingdom. I mean, what kind of power are you giving a player to, you know, decide on who comes in, who comes out, or decide on the coaches, kind of image rights? I mean, and the guy's 22, 23. So what are you saying to the next manager that comes into PSG? You're saying, listen, you're coming in, but Mbappe, you will do what Mbappe says, and he's a kid. I mean, surely there's going to be a kind of degrading, or kind of it's very, you know,
it's taking the piss out of football.
Exactly. I mean, it's like demeaning for the manager that's going to come in. I mean, this kid is going to tell me who I can, who can't bring in.
Imagine Neymar now sitting next to Mbappe. When Neymar went in, he thought he was going to be the guy, and now he's been usurped by a kid who's 5-6 years his junior. How does that feel now for Neymar?
No,
where does he go?
Apparently, Neymar is one of the players that he wants out.
Of course.
He wants Zidane to coach. He wants what's his name to leave.
It's a total mess. It's the absolute opposite of how our club is run and how it's been sort of been working over the last few years. And you know, Gini Wijnaldum obviously went to PSG. A very good friend of mine knows Gini Wijnaldum very well, and Gini stayed at his place when he goes on holiday. And they have managed to have a few words with Gini Wijnaldum, and Gini Wijnaldum openly said to my friend, he said, it's the worst club I've ever seen. It's the biggest mistake I ever made. The atmosphere in the dressing room, in training, amongst the teammates, there's so many split camps. Gini Wijnaldum is known to speak his mind. Most Dutch players have got that in them where they speak their mind. They're not scared of anything and anyone in terms of, in terms of politics, right? Jaap Stam was outspoken, and obviously he paid for it. Virgil van Dijk speaks honestly. If you see him interviewed, we know Clarence Seedorf, Ruud Gullit, these guys, Marco van Basten, very Ronald Koeman. Who's the guy that's Van der Vaart that was speaking about Maguire? They're very open and honest with their opinions and views. And Gini was open, and he said it's the worst club run in terms of politics and atmosphere. And he said, it's not about you being the coach's pet. You have to be the owner's pet. Imagine that.
That's what it's like, unfortunately, in the Middle East, especially the Gulf region. That's what it's like. The owners kind of want to interfere in every little detail. They kind of like to micromanage everyone from top down.
But this is why it'll be interesting if a man the stature of Zinedine Zidane actually takes that role. It's obviously it seems like an open secret that they want Zinedine Zidane. I'll be intrigued to see how that works out and how that pans out.
I can't see someone like Zidane conceding to owners like that, to be honest.
But this is my point. It's a horrible way to run a football club, and I'm totally in agreement with what you said, Aki. Like, I love the fact that Madrid didn't get their man. Absolutely love that aspect of it. But the other side of it is the way that it's happened, and the club that's stopped them from getting their man couldn't have been a worse club as well. So it's a bittersweet.
Tin pot owners, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. So, but it's good. But it's good to hear that. It's good to hear that you're positive about Madrid, Aki.
No, I am.
I didn't want to end your segment on a downer, on a negative. I hear your reservations. If we don't end up with one of the big ones, I'll be mad disappointed. Yeah. I can't sit here and be a top red and a super fan and say, you know what, I'll enjoy the journey and I'll celebrate like mad the 2 trophies, because I will be gutted
Absolutely.
if we don't win the Champions League. Look, tomorrow is a long shot. I literally tweeted about an hour ago. It's if there's a 1% chance, have 99% faith, and that's where I'm at. I have faith in my team, right? I just don't have faith in Callum Chambers and Tyrone Mings, people.
No.
I just don't have any faith in them.
I saw them against Burnley. I mean, they couldn't even break down Burnley, for God's sake.
Yeah. It's not even about breaking down, Aki. I can't see them defending. They're an absolute shambolic pair of centre-backs right there. And I'm not trying to put the curse on them, and I'm not trying to be, speak them down. So when it happens, I'm just being real. I've always said, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but I've always spoken about Tyrone Mings being
He's awful.
The most overrated, and he is rated by some, because you got to remember he plays for England national team, so there is people that rate him.
It's another Maguire, isn't it? I mean, how on earth Maguire gets
absolutely,
absolutely, and yet they also brought in Mings, didn't they, for the England national team? So it's absurd. But there was just another one point I kind of wanted to address, if I have the time.
Go for it, my man. Go for it.
What's your take on the Salah, Mane, Firmino situation in terms of contract extensions? Because there was kind of I don't have Twitter, on Instagram before the Athletic were kind of commenting now that Madrid weren't able to land Mbappe, and obviously Haaland going to City, that they're now interested in putting Mane and Salah on the radar, and Richarlison. I don't know, Richarlison, seriously. So I don't know. I just have this again, another fear that one of these three, more so Mane or Salah, are going to be leaving this summer, and it just pains me, and I have nightmares thinking about it, and I just don't want to see it.
Why?
Any Liverpool player leave.
Why? I'm going to ask you the hard questions. Why does it pain you? Why do you have this fear? Why don't you trust Jurgen Klopp, as we've spoken about, and the elite coaches and the elite recruitment? Why have they not instilled enough faith in you, it seems?
No. That's the absolute contrary. I have complete faith with Klopp, and I have complete faith in our management. But in terms of Mane and Salah, I mean, at the end of the day, they might have their own personal ambitions. Although, for me, you can't go to a bigger team than Liverpool. We are, and no nonsense of City, we are the biggest club in the world. We are the best football team in the world at this moment in time. Whether they win the league or they don't, they probably will, but we're still the best team in the world at this moment in time. So we're better to go than Liverpool. Or what better project, or what kind of better ambitions and upward trajectory do you have more than Liverpool?
So if you say all that, and you believe all that,
I believe it.
You sure? Look me in the eye and tell me you believe that. I'm having a few doubts here and there. If you believe that,
I don't trust Mane and Salah as much as I.
So check this. This is the way I look at it. If they don't believe in the project going forward, and if they believe in the project at a Madrid or a PSG, then I'm firmly of the belief that I support Liverpool Football Club and not Mane FC or Salah FC.
Absolutely.
If like I believe they believe in the project, and especially if they're happy with the Jurgen Klopp extension, then I have no fears either way, Aki. I believe that. I truly have no fears either way. If they decide to leave after giving us 5 years of monumental service and levels that I never thought I'm going to see my club reach again, then so be it. It's been an amazing journey. Good luck to them if they want to try and test pastures new.
No, absolutely.
Fear is not the word I would use. Sadness, yes. I'd be sad. They're legends, icons, two of the most iconic players that will go down in Liverpool history folklore. But at the same time, our club, my club, won't die.
No, of course not.
We will move on.
Absolutely.
Who would have thought Jota and Diaz would have made the impact that they've made? So I would be sad, but I wouldn't be despondent. And I'm at a level now, Aki. I'm at a stage now where I really don't care who comes and who goes. Honestly, I was when Steven Gerrard, that was the last person that I cared for on that level. Honestly, I'm not just saying it.
No, but you don't care who comes in. So say, like, worst case, hypothetically speaking, we lose Mane, Salah. You don't care who comes in to replace them.
No, I trust the process now.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So for example, when Diego Jota was coming in, everyone was like, what? Are we paying 45 million for Diego Jota?
Yeah, true.
What are we doing here? Luis Diaz, what? He's done it in Portugal, but so has Bruno Fernandes. Are we really spending X amount on Luis Diaz, who's only done it in Portugal? Why aren't we going for Mbappe's and Lewandowski's, or just for names, why aren't we doing this? Why are we going for Jota and Diaz? They're not world class.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I trust
that's my point. So that's my point. So I think, do you really think that if we get rid of Mane or a Salah, and I'm not saying it's impossible now because Real Madrid will go wild, right? No. And they will look at contract situations. So there's absolutely truth in these clubs making wild offers for willy-nilly players now, and who's better to go for than Mane or Salah, two of the best players in world football. So we have to anticipate and expect that clubs will come for our best players because they're so good. We can't have the cake, remember, and eat it. So when we got brilliant players, clubs will come in for them.
No, true.
But it's up to the individual now. This won't be about Klopp. This won't be about Liverpool. As you said, this will be about Mane and Salah either believing in the project and their careers and their career paths, or they will see pastures new. The way I'm saying I look at it is I'm not fearful. I'm not nervous about it. And I definitely won't be, oh my God, one of them is leaving, because the way our clubs operate and run, it's magnificent, man.
No, absolutely.
We're good to go again either way.
No, absolutely. But, in kind of the context of that, we had Michael Edwards, obviously, that kind of landed all these kind of lucrative deals and these great signings, the likes of Jota and Diaz and what have you. And I'm assuming that, the kind of the new sporting director, I forgot his name now, is kind of taking
Julian Ward.
So I'm assuming he's kind of on the same, trajectory and kind of same skill set as the Edwards. So yeah, I have complete faith, but maybe fear was probably the wrong word. It's more kind of disappointment. I don't see a world we're going to lose both. Well, I think we'll lose either or, hopefully not. But it's kind of more, obviously disappointment because it's a great project at the moment.
I'll tell you why it's disappointing, because you've seen them grow and turn into this world force. They are a world force. Yeah. So I get that. But come on, my friend. We, being Liverpool fans above most, will know nothing lasts forever.
No, absolutely. And
we know this better than anyone else.
Yeah. And no player on the club.
Kenny Dalglish, Ian Rush, Torres, Steven Gerrard, Luis Suarez came, conquered. Some of them didn't conquer as much as they could have.
But there wasn't a Klopp factor there.
Say again?
It wasn't a Klopp factor. So
which is even advantageous for us, though.
Absolutely, but I'm saying in the eyes of these players, they should be sitting down and kind of reflecting on the whole situation kind of now and doing like a situation analysis. This is where Liverpool are at now. We have this manager who's arguably the greatest manager alongside Pep, and who's just signed a 2-year extension. Is going to stay here till 2026, another 4 years of greatness, another 4 years hopefully of adding, more trophies to the cabinet and, attracting the best players. So what reason do we have of leaving? And there's a great chance if we stick at Liverpool that we'll win those Ballon d'Ors and we'll win, everything there is to win. Or do I want to go for the money and go to an oil club and what have you, and the Farmers League, and whether that be France or anyone else for that matter. And there's kind of more disappointment in the players if they don't trust the process, if they don't trust this trajectory Liverpool are going on. It's kind of shame on them, really, as opposed to...
That's my point. We're at a stage where we're at a stage, and it's a magical stage to be as a club, where it's their loss, not ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think about that.
Yeah.
100%, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's their loss, not ours.
Yeah.
So we've got no reason to be nervous or scared or sad, in my opinion. Them three have been iconic strikers, forwards, call them what you want, for the club for the last 5-6 years. And whoever leaves, if they leave, or whoever runs out his contract, if they run out the contract, I'm good with it. I'm absolutely good with it. Just a quick super chat before we get Jamie's input on this. Khalid Hussein, appreciate his support. He says, Nunes and Brennan Johnson would fill Salah's boot. My brother, come on. Like, come on, man.
What's your stance on the situation? How do you see it pan out, Grizz, in terms of Mane and Salah situation, contract situation?
I see Bobby Firmino happily retiring at Liverpool, running out his contract. I see Salah renewing, and I see Mane being tempted, and the decision's his. That's how I see it. I see Mane having a decision to make this summer. That's just my opinion.
For all three players, the decisions need to be made this summer, right? I mean, obviously, probably after the Champions League, as soon as that, right?
There's no doubt about that. There's no time to waste as soon as the Champions League. The thing is, contract talks of this level can take time. Contracts of this complex, especially in the Salah case, you have to realize it's come at the worst time in terms of we're going for all 4 trophies. We haven't got time to think about anything else. And so therefore, it's put pressure inadvertently on the people in charge to get this done quickly. But it can't be done quickly because of we're in everything and we don't want any distraction. And that's Klopp's state of mind right now. Like, halt everything, stop everything. I don't want to hear a peep about contracts, players, unhappy agents.
Yeah,
stop it all. As soon as the Champions League is over, we talk, and then we see how it ends and what it entails. But I'm not nervous. I'm not scared for sure. And if one of them was to leave, it would be sad, but only for the memories. It wouldn't be sad for the future.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jamie, I don't know if you want to chime in on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the cliche thing, but all three of these guys, I love them so much, but, you know, in the back of my head, in the back of my heart, they're not going to play football for the rest of eternity. And most likely, I don't necessarily envision that all three will retire at Liverpool. So it's one of those things when a player comes in, you know that there's a timeline in it. You know, I've seen Fernando Torres go. I've seen Xabi Alonso go. I've seen Felipe Coutinho go. I've seen these guys go, and things happen afterwards. Liverpool is still there, but I completely understand the sentiment from Aki. But I think, you know, logically speaking, from June, we have 6 months before the ball is out of our court until January 1st, when I believe they could sign pre-contracts with other clubs. So theoretically, we have a guaranteed 1 year on Salah and Mane currently, if I understand when their contracts are up, but it's really a 6 months that we have the upper hand. I think, as you said, Grizz, I think that the way FSG works, as we know, it's going to be one of the three is going to get close to the Liverpool Supermax contract edition, and then that's how it will break down. And Bobby and Sadio, I believe, will not be the benefactors of this Supermax. I think when things are said and done after the Champions League final, it's going to be Mohamed Salah who gets that big monster contract, probably going to be the biggest in Liverpool's history. And then, as you said, it's not the worst thing in the world to have different pastures for clubs and for players. If we were able to sell a player for close to £100 million and reinvest for the next cycle, obviously I would be so sad to see one of the front three grow. But at the same time, from now on, their contract value and their player market value will be going down. So as Grizz said, we have a finite amount of time and everything will be calculated. And I'm very, very happy that Julian Ward, Jurgen Klopp, and the people at FSG are behind the decisions, because so far, I think they steered the ship pretty well.
Because I think, like with Mane, I think he's waiting on Salah's situation, contract.
Yeah.
Probably going to use that as leverage, isn't he?
Exactly.
Do you know what we have to remember? What we have to remember is all of these contracts. I know there's a state of panic among the fan base. You know, it's natural when you start looking into the last year of the deals and last contract. But you got to remember, these things they're literally one signature away of agreeing as well. Yeah. So, you know, my advice, or, you know, who am I to give advice? But my opinion, my point, my viewpoint is, watch this space. Straight after the Champions League, the contract situations will be resolved either way. There will be firm decisions made, and I don't think we're in an uncomfortable situation. I think we're very comfortable, and the main man, Jurgen Klopp, is comfortable. So if he's comfortable, I'm comfortable.
I mean, there's a kind of thought in my head, you know, that says, I don't know, this is like me being in the shoes of Mane and Salah. They kind of want to see how the season pans out in terms of the quadruple chase, and then let's say, you know, miraculously we win the league on the last day and we win the Champions League. They kind of said, okay, we've completed football, really. We've done everything we can with this club and we've won everything. So is it kind of...
Well, there is that as well, Aki, but would you trade that off? Shall I be very, very honest with you? Check this out. This might come as a shocking take. This might lose me subscribers, followers. This might increase my haters. But if you offer me a trade-off now and say, look, let's say someone comes in for one of those guys and they choose, but we get the Premier League and the Champions League and we complete the quadruple, and one of these guys chooses to go to another club, I'll trade that.
Of course. No, that goes without saying.
But some people might not. Some people will still be of the mentality, no, we can't. Salah can't leave us.
Grizz, that's what we did with Felipe Coutinho. That's what we did with Felipe Coutinho.
They don't support the club. Sorry, they support players. If that's how they're going to feel, if we just want a quadruple, then sorry, we don't want you as a Liverpool supporter. As simple as that, you know.
Absolutely.
You're a fake. So yeah.
Go on, Jamie.
Grizz, so right now I've taken up too much time from the people. I'm so grateful for you having me on, but my wife has just told me that I'm 30 minutes late for my sushi date because I always have time for Kall In with Khan and Aki, my new friend. So Grizz, look
after
guys,
yourself.
Big up the Reds tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Opta gave us 19.5%. So if it's 1% chance, 99% faith, we're already off to a good start. We got that Champions League final a week from today. We're getting those 4. We're getting this. I'll see you, my friends. Have a great rest of your day.
You go, Jamie. Jamie. Aki, it's been a pleasure, bro. I've got so many people waiting to come on, and I've been nearly 2 hours now. I'm going to disappoint guys in the chat.
No problem.
I know there's over 12 of you waiting to come on, and some of you can't come on. The studios only allows 12 people. I have to say, I'm going to prioritize new callers, guys. Some of you are going to be disappointed. I've seen some faces that have been on before. Just bear with me. I'm trying my best, but the chat has been amazing. Aki, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, bro.
I mean,
take care of yourself, my friend. Look after yourself. See you soon.
Right.
Okay, next up is Michael. I'm going to add Michael to the stream. And with Michael, I'm going to add Quasi to the stream as well at the same time. Michael, how are you? Tell me where you're calling from, my friend.
I'm good, Grizz, good. Other than having my shoulder dislocated, I'm all well. But
oh my God, how the hell did you manage to do that, Michael?
Playing football. That's what happened. That's what happens when you play 5th division football here in Finland. You get pushed from behind. You put your hand out to brace for impact, and your shoulder separates. But it is what it is. But yeah, calling from the land of Sami Hyppia and Jari Litmanen, the wonderful Finland. And honestly, that's what I wanted to start it off with asking you and asking Quasi as well. That look, I know kind of the league is done tomorrow. Whatever happens, happens, right? I'm going there with a fresh mindset tomorrow. Sleep well, even though it is 3 a.m. in the morning currently here in Finland. But I had to call in for Grizz, of course. So I'm all looking towards May 28th, the Champions League final. For me, you guys, this is my question basically, because Grizz, you live in the UK. I don't know where Quasi lives, but here in Finland, growing up, I didn't see a lot of Premier League football because you had to pay a lot of money to watch it. So the Champions League for me has always been the creme de la creme. I always wanted my club to win it. Always. When I saw Liverpool win the 2005 Champions League at a very young age, that's what got me into football so much. And for you, obviously, we want both the Premier League and the Champions League. But if you had to pick one, which one would it be? And also, if we do win the Champions League, will you be coming here to Finland? Because the UEFA Super Cup will be hosted in Finland. And finally, I pray to God that I finally get to see my team live in person, because it's been a very, very long time since I've done that, because I can't travel to England. I don't have the money to do it. So I just beg, please, that Liverpool win the Champions League so I get to see my team live in person.
First and foremost, hope you get well soon, man.
Yes.
That's sad to hear. You've done that to yourself, but you're obviously not as elegant a player as Sami Hyypiä was, or Jari Litmanen.
He's a terrible coach, by the way.
So fair enough. But the rest of your points, look, first and foremost, again, I hope and pray we win the Champions League, not only for the sake of Liverpool and us, but that you get a chance to see them. That's amazing. You know, that's always a brilliant story to hear. And hopefully they come to your homeland and you get a chance to see them in the live. But if you ask me right now, Michael, and you ask me to pick between that's like asking me to pick my favorite daughter or my favorite son. You know, I curse you for asking me that question first and foremost. I say, why are you asking me that, Michael? Why are you doing this to me? But I've maintained for a little while that Jurgen Klopp needs to win another Premier League for me. For me, because living in the UK, the media, the rival fan bases, that the daily interaction I personally have with the rival fan bases and dealings with the media in this country, they will forever be they will always look down on Jurgen Klopp and say, he only won one league title. And even that was behind closed doors. We didn't get a chance to spread the joyous scenes that we need to spread around the world. When Liverpool win the league, it's a special time to be a Liverpool fan. So for me, it's a tough one, but I would go for the Premier League myself. Secondly, Quasi, welcome to the channel. Welcome.
Thank you, brother.
Michael has asked me the question, but Michael, it was also wants your opinion. What do you think? How do you look at it?
Hey, good to see you, Michael, and of course, brother Khan. I'll go with what brother Khan said. The league is always your brother and better, you know, that allow you to go to the Champions League. And also, 2005 is when I call it re-sign my love for Liverpool, because when I was a kid, and I grew up when Rush was the man. John Barnes was the Don back in the day. So when I moved to the States, it was hard to watch games. You have to watch like the important matches, like the Champions League. So 2005 is when I think the US started showing more soccer, as they say over here. So 2005 is when I was like Liverpool. And since I was a kid, I always choose the team that was red. So for my Ghanaians guys who are in there, Asante Kotoko is my team, and they were red. So okay. Liverpool, red. I fell in love with Liverpool, never look back. But when you grow up and you move from country to country, you tend to miss certain, chance to watch, So 2005 is when I went hard and never looked back. But I will go with the league. The league is always important. But one thing that I also want to say, Brother Ken, Liverpool fans, we need to stop worrying that the rivals will banter us.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be like us. That's why they banter us. The journey is what makes Liverpool. Chelsea fans hate us so much because they spend a lot of money, they won trophies, but they still are not on our level because guess what? They don't have the journey. The journey is Liverpool. That's why this year, after we won the FA Cup, I made a deal with myself saying, win tomorrow or next week. This is one of the best journeys I've seen Liverpool. 2005, people just remember the Champions League final.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Ken, you remember the final game versus, is it Olympiacos?
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen G. That's where I said, if I usually don't buy a player's jersey, a jersey with a player's name in the back. But Stephen G was the only player that I was like, I would put in there. You know? So I enjoyed the journey. The final, the trophy is the cherry on top. And trust me, Brother Ken will tell you, my heart rate have been all over the place for the past trophies. And guess what? It's beautiful.
It is. It's absolutely beautiful. Just before I come back to Michael, there's a couple of super chats that I need to get through. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. Messi FC says, Grizz, what happens with Shumani this summer? Only Shumani knows. We know he knows we want him. He knows he's our number one target. If he likes us, if he wants us, he's ours. Nothing can stop him. If he prefers Madrid, that's up to him. But we want him. We've made it clear to we want him. And I still believe we get him. Mark Hins sending a super chat as well. Appreciate the love, bro. He says, big up Grizz, hope all is well. All is well, bro. I think we will lose one of Mane, Salah, or even both. I'm fine with that, though. The man behind the mission, Klopp, remains. Grizz, Shumani, Madrid worry for me for that deal. Stop worrying, Mark. There's a lot of worrying in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thinking negative in there. You're thinking we're going to lose this, we're going to lose both, but then you're saying you're fine. Who are you convincing, man? Convince yourself. The man behind the mission, that is the statement. That is the. If you just send that super chat and just sent me that the man behind the mission, Klopp, remains.
That's it.
That's all we need. That's all we need, Mark. But love and respect for the support, bro. Madrid worry me for that deal. Don't let things like that worry you, bro. Don't let things like that worry you. Michael, back to you. What's your take? What's your opinion? How are you feeling about the 2 cup finals coming up? And you know, how are you feeling going into this last final week? And the question that everyone is asking, the question that all the fan base is asking each other is, if we don't win any of the 2 games, or if we don't win the league and we lose to Madrid, how are you going to feel then?
Oh, I'm going to feel devastated, to be honest, because then I'm going to have to go watch Real Madrid versus Frankfurt in the UEFA Super Cup. I don't want to do that, to be honest. I'd rather see Liverpool in the red and live in person, see Klopp yelling on the sideline and all this sort of stuff. But to me, you know, I was bantered in school being a Liverpool fan. You guys already talked about it earlier in the stream, but having people say, oh, you have Jay Spearing and Charlie Adam, you have Downing and Bellamy down the wing. I said, look, this is the best I can do right now. I don't have the great players in the midfield like Scholes or Lampard. We have these and we have to deal with it. To now where I get to watch this team with Thiago just spreading the ball. I see Diaz. Look, Quasi made a great point about having players on the back of their shirts. I don't usually get players on the back of their shirts, but I'm getting a Luis Diaz next season. I love the tenacity, the flair. I love South American players. And Luis Diaz is just a guy who's 6 months in at Liverpool, or 5 months, excuse me. And he looks like he's been playing for 3 years. I absolutely love it. And he's only going to get better. So for me, I'm like, for tomorrow at least, I'm not like, it is what it is. If we win the Premier League, my God, one of the great comebacks we've ever seen in Premier League history. And Pep might lose some more hair if he doesn't have any already. But for the Champions League, I'm very nervous because I don't want to lose that final. I don't want to lose a Champions League final. From, like I said already earlier, the Champions League for me is everything. Because I didn't grow up in the UK, and it depends on every fan across the world when it comes to Liverpool and with any club. But for me, Tuesday and Wednesday nights, that was my bread and butter. I'd wait for those days because it was on national TV here. I watch the Champions League, I hear the anthem, and I get the goosebumps start going. So I just want that Champions League. I want that 7. I want to surpass. Are we on the same? I think we're in the same number as Bayern Munich. I want to get to the same number as AC Milan, if I'm not mistaken. I want to get to those heights with the Champions League. So, May 28th is a big day, big day. And look, we have a lot of Liverpool fans here in Finland because obviously of Sami Hyppie and Jari Litmanen. That crowd at the Olympic Stadium here would be amazing. And especially with Frankfurt, with their fans. Oh my God, it would be an absolute festival. So I'm just hoping for that. And I was confident ahead of the Champions League final, but I'm slowly losing a little bit of confidence day by day when it comes to the Champions League final. I'm just looking at the sort of matchups in that final, and I'm like, they can exploit us at times because they have a very good midfield, as we know. Kroos and Modric. Look, if people call them old, all right, they're old, but they still have quality, and they have quality to break down our defense. I look at Vinny versus Trent. That's a very interesting matchup. And what is Klopp going to do with his right center back choice? Is he going to use the physicality and pace of Konate, or is he going to use the passing ability of Matip? And Matip, I think, has been the best center back in the Premier League, but Konate adds a different sort of ability compared to Matip in that position. That's just my opinion, of course. But I'm looking at next week's Champions League, and I feel like it's going to be high scoring. I feel like it's going to be a very intense game, high scoring, and it might be a Champions League final that we will remember like 2005. It's just going to be absolute scenes for whichever club wins, and it's hopefully the red side of Liverpool. By the way, if Richarlison signs for Real Madrid for 70 million, my God, where has football gone, man? Where has football gone?
Michael, I totally get your sentiments and your feelings. It's very apparent, it's very apparent that the reasons why you want this Champions League and you're feeling nervous, and it's natural. It's absolutely natural because as things get closer and closer, and you're right. Probably when Real Madrid took out Man City, I think I was so happy. That Man City are getting knocked out, and Man City are a very good team. And B, a part of me thought we can beat this Madrid team. So the confidence levels at the time was high. But then as you get closer and closer, you realize, look, they're an elite team for a reason. They have an elite record for a reason. They have an elite mentality for a reason. And they have a couple of elite players. As you said, Modric and Benzema are elite players. But then I look at our team as well, man. Yeah. I look at our squad. And sometimes I think we don't know what we have sometimes. Like sometimes I have to pinch myself and realize like, whoa, man, we've got at least on a par level of elite players as the great Real Madrid. We have on a par the great elite manager that Carlo Ancelotti is in Jurgen Klopp. It really is unbelievable. Sometimes we have to acknowledge the team that we've got. It's a mental place to be in right now, man. And yeah, the fear element, we wouldn't be fans, we wouldn't be supporters if there was an element of fear in us. We're human as well. Do you know what I mean? But I'm good to go, man, Michael. If I can inspire you with any words or advice or opinion, we're good to go, bro. We're good to go. I think you're going to see the mighty Reds play in your homeland, and it's going to be one of the greatest days of your evening, depending on what time they kick off of your life, man.
No, it will be. I mean, I just blessed that I'm hopefully going to see my team live, because the last game I went to go see Liverpool play was actually the Europa League semi-final against Villarreal, which was insane. That was insane atmosphere where I could barely see the whole pitch because the stand was so low. But look, I'm very excited. I'm actually more, because Aki talked about that he wasn't confident against Spurs in the 2019. I was like, okay, I'm way more confident in that final because I knew we could beat Spurs. We were an elite team. But I just look at the Real Madrid side of it, and they've gone past PSG. You can say what you want about PSG and their mentality, but it's PSG at the end of the day with world-class players. You look at Chelsea, defending Champions League winners. Of course, you know, they've had a poor season to their standards of what they were supposed to achieve. And they went past one of the best teams in the world in Manchester City. So they have the elite mentality as well. And they have players who have stepped up in the big moments. And that's kind of like also they're almost destined, it almost feels like, but it also feels like Liverpool are destined. I look at our journey. We had nobody talks about the toughest group in the Champions League. Everybody just wants to talk about, oh, easy path, knockout stage. You had Inter, who are maybe going to win Serie A tomorrow. You had Benfica. Okay, Benfica, but they gave us a tough match. And Villarreal, they pushed us to the brink for 3 halves almost. So I look at our team and I just look Diaz against Carvajal. I know who's winning that battle. Ferland Mendy against Salah could be interesting, but I think Salah's got the edge there, and I think our midfield has to step up on that day. I don't know, Grizz, what's the status of Fabinho? Is he going to play in the game, or what's his fitness level for it heading into it?
Fabinho will be fine. Fabinho has been very, very confident himself as well. There's literally no need to risk him for tomorrow.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So that's good. He'll have another whole week of training, and Fabinho was looking a bit fatigued anyway before his injury. So this couple of weeks, you got to remember, it's a couple of weeks break, so it's not too much of a breakup of rhythm. So you know that factor that people have, like, oh, if he was injured for 4 or 5 weeks, bringing him back could be a bit dangerous and rusty. I think it's just right, the optimum break where he's at, and we need a fit, aggressive, snarling, clever, Fabinho in that midfield, because he's definitely up against all of that in Casemiro. Yep. So we definitely need Fabinho, and I think we will have Fabinho ready for that. Shaq, shout out to Shaq in the chat. He says, do not lose the confidence. We're beating Madrid, people.
Yeah.
And look, Neverman is here, says, look, so many people are nervous and freaking out these days, and I feel exhausted myself, but I have to remind you as well, enjoy the ride.
Definitely I am. I went from the days of Jay Spearing and these guys to now. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm enjoying the ride. While it lasts with Klopp, I'm enjoying every moment.
Quasi, on the back of what Mike has been saying and sharing his feeling and emotions, how are you feeling and how are you feeling right now? Nervousness? I guess, as I said, I guess feeling nervous is absolutely normal.
It's normal.
Having an element of fear is normal. But what's your overriding emotion and feeling?
Well, with me, I'm excited. It's just I just want the days to come in so we play. This has been a long time. Mention the Jay Spearing and Charlie Adams. Those days I used to talk so much trash because that's all I had. Nowadays I don't talk. When I watch people's content and they're talking in Liverpool, I'm like, do you guys know where we came from? Do you know what this club is all about? This club is about trophies, elegance. So people who are, I was watching one of your mates' content, Grace, and one of the guests was like, I'll be so disappointed. I mean, this is why we should have bought more players. This guy went all the way back to FSG out. And he's so angry. And I'm like, you're disrespecting the players that you claim that you love so much because they have put themselves in positions to win. Do you think they're going to get all the way over there and be like, okay, we're done, and then walk off? No, because if they wanted to do that, they would have done that against Villarreal. They would have done that against Leicester. Shout out to the man, Taki. They would have done that against City. After drawing with City, they were like, well, we're done. But no, they keep going. They keep going. Salah keep coming there. And I like what you said earlier, Grace, about Klopp saying, okay, enough is enough. No more talk of this contract stuff. And guess what? Salah heard it. The fans also put pressure on him. This is one thing I love about Liverpool fans. We hold our team accountable. Stop this foolishness. We need to focus on the bigger picture. Salah heard it. So now what does he say? I want Real Madrid. He speaks with his chest. I want to win all the trophies. Of course, I want to be the Ballon d'Or and Golden Boot winner. Mane does not every time Mane sees a camera, what does he say? Real Madrid, we are coming. Every single time. That tells you how our guys are ready. You know, City, we have to give it to City and Pep. If they were not there, we would have won 4 EPLs. Even last year, we could have still sneaked in and win the thing. Because Chelsea fumbled and United did, I think it was the last match or the match before the last match of the season, and they went above us.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, we would have been here, sitting here, just sipping coffee, you know, having those fancy biscuits, and say, who can beat us? But Liverpool is not about that, because I guarantee you, every season we won something. There's a story that comes with it. Pick any year. Even the COVID. Yes, it is a COVID. It took a whole pandemic to slow us down. Shout out to Watford. You know, we were just tired that day. You know what I mean? Champions League. Before that, we went and lost to a Champions League, came back and said, what's up? And I want to give a shout out to Brother Saint too. He said, I don't think he was Saint, but it was another brother who came in. He said, don't let us win the quad this year and happen next. Look what happened next year. We will win it. Right now, what team can stop us? You know,
Nobody.
so I'm confident. I'm excited. I just like the story. I wish I was a reporter because I'll be writing so much stuff. I mean, Hollywood, this is Hollywood, right? I'm in California. Hollywood, this is what Hollywood is all about, you know? And I promise you, you will watch Liverpool live. I got a chance to watch him when Klopp, first full year, they came to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, which is Silicon Valley. And that's when I saw Klopp started making all this. I saw the High Line. Do people think this is the High Line? That one was like in the AC Milan box. Like they pressed him so hard. So with me, I'm just excited. Oh man, I was so ecstatic when Klopp signed the extra two. I mean, if Liverpool fans can enjoy it, I guarantee you're gonna wait till 2026. That's when you'll be like, oh my God. It's too late.
Too late.
It's too late. And you
Don't have regrets.
enjoy it.
Absolutely. Don't have regrets, man. Guys, it's been a pleasure speaking to you both, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for calling in.
Mhm.
And I wish you guys and us guys the best of luck in the next 2 games, man. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own needs and wants and desires why they want a certain game or a certain trophy. And we have to respect everyone's opinion for that because everyone is different and has their own aspirations and dreams for a reason. Michael, been a pleasure, man. Get well soon. Take care.
Soon.
And Quasi, always a pleasure as always, my man. Take care of yourself, guys.
Yes, and shameless plug, Crazy Ball TV. I'm out there, guys. Crazy Ball TV. I'll put that link and Grace, please bring me some mandolins from Paris, please. I love those things. That's my poison. Trust me.
No problem. If I'm in the mood, if we've won.
Oh no, we win it. We win it.
Okay. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Grizz.
Bye-bye. Okay, we've got Tarmizi and Pop. I'm gonna join in the stream right now. How you doing, guys? Hope you're good. If you want to mute yourself, Pop.
Mute.
Hold on 1 second. Stay there.
Yeah.
Tarmizi, welcome to the chat. How are you, my friend?
Thank you.
No problem. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling calm. The last day of the Premiership.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happens. You know, I'm more looking forward to the Champions League next week. But you know, I think winning the Premier League would be the icing of the cake, to be honest, because it's out of reach. It's not in our control because we hope for a slip up. But look, we've been through this journey. Everyone has been saying enjoying the journey, which I can't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
Second to the notion, and let's hope and see. Let's just have faith in our team and hopefully Stevie G. But yeah, here we are.
Here we are indeed, man. Here we are indeed. We're in a place where every single club in the planet would love to be in. We're in that place.
Exactly.
Man. So What more can you ask for? Be in that place that every other club wants to be, every other fan base wants to be in, right? And the
Right.
rest, we can't. Sometimes some things are not in your control. That's the way life works, right? That's the way the world operates. So we can do what we can to the best of our ability, and then leave the rest to whatever's out of our control and see what happens. Let me unmute Pop. Pop, how you doing, my friend? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from the States, man.
No problem, man. Who
Yeah.
do you support, my friend?
Oh yeah, I'm your biggest rival, so I'm gonna be fair and make it kind of short. Yeah.
Go for it, my man. Go for it. Who's our biggest rival? I want to hear this. Actually, we want to hear this as Liverpool. Who's our biggest rival?
Manchester United.
It used to be our biggest rival, man. Come on, man. They used to be our biggest rival. You're not anymore, man. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry to say. I love you. I thank you for coming on my show. But so, Mizzy, are they our biggest rivals, man? We don't even think about United anymore, man. We don't even look at you, man. But go ahead, man. What do you want to say, bro?
But one day, trust me, it's gonna
You're
be
gonna
back.
come back.
Yeah, it's gonna come back. But my thing with that that I love with you guys, man. Liverpool, as I admire your team, bro. In terms of like the culture that you built at the team, like in terms of the players, they want it. You know, the players, they have that desire to win, and they know to grind out results. Like even if you play a game and say it's not your best, your A game, the players they're always, their head is always up, man. So that's one thing I really want to copy from Klopp's, like the way he built his team. That's one thing I want. And my thing about your players that you buy, like the Diaz, the Mane, the Salah, they all have one thing in common, bro. Like they're tenacious, they want that ball, you know, they're hungry. And this is what I want, like, from my team, bro. That's why I love the players like Diaz and these guys. Like even Manchester United, when we signed Sancho, right? I wasn't really a big fan of that signing, because the thing is the thing I don't like, right? The thing I don't like is that there are two type of players, right? There's the elegant player, the nice touch, the close control that everybody likes, like the Sanchos and the Maris, right? But there's the other type of player that they can bring the game to you. You know, even if they have a bad touch, they'll always be that constant threat. Everything don't have to be perfect. And that's the player you bought, Diaz. So that's why I love him, bro. That's why I love how he plays. Like when he was playing against Chelsea in the final, he's attacking, he's taking shots, he's moving to them, and that's just what I like with Klopp, man. And to me, in terms of Klopp versus Pep, bro, I'm gonna give Klopp the higher ceiling, because if you look at everything he built, he struggled. You know, at one point he was using Origi, Sturridge, these guys, and then he released Sturridge, and then he replaced him with Firmino, and he tried, and you know, at one point he had Nathaniel Klein, then he had Mourinho. You know, he's not a checkbook manager, so he's forced to learn from different cultures, bro. African, whether you're Brazilian, bro. So Klopp, that man, bro, he's a better manager to me than Pep, bro. Pep, everything has to be perfect for him. Don't get me wrong, he's good when it's perfect for him, bro. But Klopp is like a man for the trenches, bro. He can get you out in that dugout, bro. So I'm just gonna keep it short, bro. So I respect your team. I used to have strong hatred, bro, but I'm a person. You know, I'm a person, like, I always think that if someone deserves their time, bro, give them it, bro. Liverpool, you deserve it, bro. So just keep doing. But I'm gonna be back for you soon. So just watch your tail, right? Just keep close. Manchester United, one day, bro. Just one day. Yeah.
Pop, you've been a brilliant, bro. What you've said.
Yeah.
I agree where you're coming from. Sometimes it's very difficult to speak about rivals like in a positive manner, because you've been brought up, or you've been programmed to hate the enemy, and and you've had your fair share of laughing at us as well, probably.
Yeah.
You know, years gone by, but what I love about you, and someone said it in the chat, you've spoken very level-headed, and sometimes, you know, it makes us proud, doesn't it, Tirmizi, when other fan bases see the job, our management, our ownership, everything about it. And sometimes you don't want to go too overboard praising your team,
Right.
but sometimes you have to accept that, look, we're so well run. We're probably the best example of how to run a football club.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Tirmizi?
Indeed. And I also like to point out, personally for me, during the Sir Alex days, I think he does the right scouting, nurturing players into a top, world-class, elite clutch players. And Jurgen is doing the same thing right now, how Sir Alex did back then.
Yeah.
And Pop, sorry, I know you give credit to our manager, but despite Sir Alex credits and his ability to coach and nurturing those players, I have the hatred on him. But I still respect. At the same time, I still have his how do I say?
Yeah.
Acknowledge his
Achievements,
his legacy and whatnot.
his legacy.
Achievements, exactly. Yeah, his legacy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you touch on culture. I think yes, I went to one of the channel a few weeks ago, and I said what Jurgen has done with this, the modern age team, back to the compared to 70s 80s of Liverpool, the back in the Dalglish, the Keegan and whatnot. You have Japanese players in Taki. You have a pool of Brazilian, a pool of African kings, including Nabi Keita, and all this, the scouts, the local lads like Trent and Curtis Jones. So it's not easy to combine, but the way he created a culture within the team bond, it doesn't matter where you came from, your different background, different origins, countries. And I'd like to give my hat off to Jurgen on blending well within the team. They are welcomes. Look at Diaz and how Adrian, although he's not a regular, but he has a prominent role of welcoming new signings like him in January, and he just hit the ground running as if he's been there for a number of seasons already.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it's almost the total opposite of what's happening at United right now, Pop, right? Like that camaraderie, that spirit, that closeness, that unity, that Tirmizi has spoken about is totally opposite of what is happening at United. He's got a hell of a job, right?
Yeah.
New manager.
One thing before I go, when I look, that's why here's an example also of the management of Liverpool, right? Look at a player like Minamino and Origi. These players would be classed as fringe players, just come and do a job for 5 minutes, go home, right? But these guys, they seem like they train closely with the top professional players, just in case they are called upon. They have to come. That A game have to be there. So Minamino and Origi, even though you can say they deserve at least more time, they're always ready for that moment to carry the team. And I compare that with a player like Lingard, right? Lingard would be like our Minamino. I can't count on that guy, bro. Like if something is not working, when he comes on the pitch, he's going to have the attitude like, oh, I should be playing. Get rid of that, bro. Just come on the field, do what you got to do. But everybody at my team, even the ones that aren't playing, it's like they have that entitlement mentality, and that's what Origi. That's why I like players. That's why I like how Klopp manage these players, because I saw Minamino scored all of your goals, but he never played in the final. But he played the other match in the league, and he turned up. right? He never like play like, oh, I deserve to play last week. Why you playing me? No, he turned up, bro. So the players at Manchester United, like the Rashford, the Shaws, Eric Bailey, these guys, I can't count on them to do that because the culture and the attitude of the team, it's not right, and that's what I want to change. That's why I just love how the team, how Klopp is managing the team. You see, as I'm saying, I always give others their credit. It's just natural about me, human nature. You see someone fail and they try. Trust me, bro. I have to give you your credit. I can't hate. I hate you. I hate the team, but just giving you your time to shine, man. You deserve it because you have teams like PSG, Man City, even Everton. They spend a lot, but that heritage is not there, you know? It's not there. So big up, man. I appreciate for having me, bro. Thank you so much, Khan. Yeah.
Listen, big up yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You've spoken very respectfully and you've spoken a lot of sense. And
Yes.
I hope that your owners and your coaches and your players don't see this in the sense that you're talking, because if they hear and see the sense you're talking, they might come back up. So stay away from them. Keep talking your sense. Big up yourself. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, man. Yeah.
Tarmizi, man, I'm gonna wrap this up, but it's been a pleasure speaking to you as well, my friend.
I just turned 31 today, Grizz. I mean yesterday. So it's my birthday. I'm on vacation for a week, and today I'm in Malaysia now. So
okay,
to anyone in Malaysia, shout out to you guys.
Amazing. Listen, what a birthday present this! What a birthday week this could be for you, man. I hope and I pray that this is the best birthday week of your life, bro. Of your life, man. I hope there's a miracle at Man City tomorrow at the Etihad, where Aston Villa do something that not a lot of people think will happen. I just hope and pray something happens. And then in Paris next week, hopefully, you know, it will still count as your week, man. We will still count it as your birthday week, man. Doesn't matter if it's
birth week.
Yeah, birth week, man. It happens, man. Birth week. We call it Termizi's birth week, man. And hopefully you can come on again and we can talk about it, celebration. But listen, thank you very much, brother. It's been
so much,
crazy talking to you. Look after yourself.
Bye-bye.
Guys, what a show this has been. There's still over 270 of you in here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the chat today. The standard, the level, the knowledge of the chat today was amazing. Every caller was a credit to themselves. It's been amazing. The time flown by. I didn't even realize it's going over 2 hours. Guys, sorry if you couldn't come on today. I'm really, really sorry. I tried to keep it moving as much as I could, but the callers were so brilliant. Pixelated Pigeon with a super chat to end the night says, smash the like button for this scintillating discussion, folks. Who knows? Maybe Mings and Chambers turn into Nesta and Maldini tomorrow. That would be nice. My God, Pixelated Pigeon. If that's the last super chat of the night, what a super chat that is as well. Yeah, man. I'd like to say I'm tired and fatigued, but the guys, one after another, get me going, and the energy was good. The vibes was good. The show has been fantastic. This has been, my God, this has been a Kall In Khan. Let's hope this is a week that we will remember for the rest of our lives, people, Liverpool fans. Good luck to all the Liverpool fans out there. This could be huge, people. Stick in there, man. Have the faith. Take care.